Hey guys, welcome back to Hands On Channel. I thought today we would talk a little bit about my woodpecker here. That's what I'm calling it, the woodpecker. It's basically my homemade wood splitter. If you've seen the first video, it's basically based on a Ukrainian design. I saw the video on YouTube and really thought it was a great idea and thought, hey, why not build one? And in this video, I thought we would talk about some of the mods I've done since the last time. We'll just get right into it. First of all, I put this movable handle on here because I wasn't real sure where to set the handle and how to put it. I actually thought I turned it this way and tried it this way for a while. I think this is the best way because sometimes you need to get both hands on it on the type of wood that I'm splitting. Again, I've tried some pine and some different things like this, and I mentioned this on the first video that the pine, man, this thing was cutting it like butter without me doing any modifications. But you can see here, I welded a part of a 350 Chevrolet crankshaft on here. I cut it in half basically and welded this sucker on there. But first I filled this entire tube up with sand. So we've added quite a bit of weight to the head of this thing. And also I had to make a little bit of an adjustment because as I added the weight, this thing was lower and lower. So I had to put more spring tension on it. Because if I had to do this thing over again, one of the things I might consider is just welding a vertical post, or not welding it, but concreting a vertical post into the ground and then making that my base. Because basically, I don't know if you can see from the frame I've got here, but had to put some concrete blocks back here on the back end of this thing because when you get to bearing down on it, it's putting quite a bit of torque and tension back there on that thing. And I think it would have been easier just to make the thing not mobile and just go ahead and, you know, put a concrete post in the ground and, you know, or a steel post in concrete in the ground and then build everything off of that because it would have been a lot easier than trying to build a base up and all this. But I did build a table and it's working out great. I did not make it adjustable really, but what I ended up doing was I made the legs, they're a little bit longer. So I made these legs to where they can go down into the dirt a little bit, and that gives it a little bite and it kind of locates everything and locks it in place. But you can see there on the back I had to throw some concrete blocks on there just to weight it down because it gets quite a bit of torque and twist in it when you get to really reefing on it. Those legs are bolted on. So we've got bolts running through those round pipes into the angle iron, and that locates everything. So when I'm not using it, I can fold that table back, and also when I'm moving it around, I can fold that table back and kind of lays down about where the blocks are there, the tabletop does, and that allows me to move the thing around a little easier. I still haven't put wheels on it yet, and I'm not sure I'm going to. Again, I'm kind of reconsidering my design. I'm like, you know, maybe it'd be better just to put a piece of this oil-filled pipe on a concrete post, and then that way everything would be nice and rigid to start with. And then you could just get a big stump or a table like this and set it up wherever you wanted to. But, you know, it's only going to be in that one location. And the reason I made it this way was so that I could move it to my off-grid location. So it's working good. The thing, of course, about my off-grid location is all of that place, it's 99% soft wood, so I'm not going to have to worry about working so hard to split the wood like I do around here. This is oak that I'm splitting here. Am I going to be able to replace basically a gas-powered wood splitter with this? No, and not in this area, and it's because of this hardwood. It's still a really pretty intense workout to split this thing and make it work. You have to bear down on it pretty hard. Now, it's still easier than a splitting maul, but it's not easier than hitting a lever on a hydraulic log splitter. Here's another round of some oak here. Let's see how, now these aren't huge rounds, but I didn't have any huge rounds left. I've split them all up, so this is just what I've got left. Give you guys a demo. And the idea, if you missed the first video, is you kind of go down beside it and you let the spring tension. See, that's really, I'm not doing anything. The spring is doing everything right there. All I'm doing is pushing down, and after I release, the spring wants to pull it up and kind of over the target here. So that's how I've been doing it anyways. Let's see if we can get her done. And you got to watch out. They do tend to bounce off the front here, and it's because my table is kind of sloped down. And I've noticed as I bang on this, even with my brace across here and everything, it's continually pushing this down in the ground, and every once in a while I have to kind of come along and raise it back up and level it out. So it's not a perfect system by any means. But I'm pretty proud of it and pretty happy with it, considering all I've got in it is a little bit of welding time. All right. And once in a while, you'll run across a situation where you can't really get it to stand up perfect, but like right there. Oh yeah, man, that's great. Yeah, on that smaller stuff, it has no problem. Now this stuff here, I expect it's gonna struggle a little bit with. This stuff's pretty hard. I don't know if it's oak or what the heck it is, but I struggled with it before. So let's see. Oh yeah. Now I didn't split all the way down, but what I'm basically doing is on these bigger pieces, I'm working around the edges instead of trying to hit them right in the middle. Nice. Yeah, the weight and the table made all the difference, guys. So those of you that commented and said, yeah, I need more weight, you were right. Let's try this one. Like that. On these bigger rounds, I mean, this is not a giant round, but that's how you have to deal with them. That time I went too far into the middle. So it's kind of important where you aim the thing. Now I'm getting a lot of small pieces like that, but that's fine. Those are great for starting the fire. Then usually once you weaken up that outer edge, you can start taking bigger pieces. And I could see where a guy could get fast at it. That guy on the Ukrainian video, I think he was cutting soft wood, but he was basically had a rhythm going where he was throwing one, splitting it, and then kind of continuing on. So you can get quicker at it. That wasn't as fast as he was going, but again, I'm cutting hardwood. Look at that, man. Freaking awesome. As I can't break it in half. This stuff's so stringy. Look at that. All right, one more split. Oh, come on, baby. Give me a good one here. Need a good one to finish the video out right here. Oh. I'm cutting that middle part. It's the hardest part of the piece there. There we go. And we're going to call that good enough. So guys, that's it, man. It took me a couple weekends to throw that together, but I think it's well worth it. I'm getting a little bit of a workout, but not nearly as much. As you can see, I mean, the posture that I have to be in to do this, I'm pretty much standing straight up, and it's not wearing me out like swinging a splitting maul would. So, you know, if you guys are gung-ho and you like to split everything with a splitting maul, hey man, that's great. I used to like that kind of stuff too when I was 20, but now that I'm over 40, I like to work smarter, not harder. So until then, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments, or if you have any suggestions or anything, please leave them in the comments, and I love to read them. So till then, we'll see you next time.